Hey, fifth grade. Today's lesson for word work is a spelling partner test. As you know, you are all studying different words because we're looking at ourselves as spellers and we're thinking about what words do I need to be working on? What are my spelling demons? And what words will I be using in my own writing over the next several weeks? We are not studying a list of 20 or 25 words the way you have in the past. We're studying words that are relevant and meaningful to you and will help you become better communicators in your own writing. Um, that's why we study spelling words, so that we can use them appropriately and correctly when we write, and that people will be able to understand what we're trying to say because they won't have to try and figure out what word we're trying to use. So, that being said, in your word work folder, the very first page is your personal spelling list. We added 5 words at the beginning of this week, and we completed the weekly word study procedure using those steps found in your word work folder for each of those words. Now is the time to see if the work that we did with these words has stayed with us, or if we need to spend extra time on these words. So, if you don't have your word work folder with you, you need to send me an email and let me know that, so that I can go to your locker and get those words for you and email them to you. Then you're going to need to find someone in your home to give you a spelling partner test. I've included the partner test procedures. And you can just take this on a piece of notebook paper or scrap paper that you have around the house. But they're going to need to, the tester, the person that's going to help you take this, is going to need to say your word, use it in a sentence, and say it again. Then on the piece of paper that you're taking this test, or if you actually have your word work folder, in that case, you wouldn't write your spelling words on a piece of paper. You would give the tester your card that had your spelling words on it. We created this in class, and we made sure that the spelling was correct so that when we were ready for partner tests, they had that correct spelling and they didn't need your folder to give you your test. So if you do have your word work folder, you're taking this test on the page for partner spelling tests. And if you don't have your word work folder, you're just taking it on a piece of paper that you have at home. Anyway, the tester will say your word, use it in a sentence, say it again. You'll write the word, and then they'll give you your next word. They'll say it, use it in a sentence, and then say it again. You'll write it, and you'll continue until you have completed your whole list of words, which is just 5. 5 words for this week. Then, after you're finished, you're not going to give your test to them and say, here, check this. They're not going to give you your words and say, here, check this. They're going to continue to hold on to your card or the list that they have of your words. You're going to continue to use that piece of paper that you just took your test on, whether that's in your folder or it's a random piece of paper that you're using at home. The tester is going to spell each word out loud slowly so you can proofread. So you are going to take your pencil and you're going to touch each letter that they say as they say it. If you find that you made a mistake, you're going to circle the errors, not the whole word, just the part that you missed, because obviously that's going to help you identify the tricky parts so that when you study this word the next time that we're working on spelling, the step where we identify the tricky parts or why this word is a spelling demon for us, that's going to help us. That's going to be important information. So then you will write the number of words that you got correct up in the top right of your spelling test form. And then you will go back. I'm sorry, I should say you need to proofread each of your words. So your tester is going to spell each word for you, and you're going to touch your pencil on each letter, and then you'll circle the parts that you missed, and then you'll go to the next word and do the same thing until you've done all of the words on your list. Then you need to go back to your personal spelling list. And obviously, if you don't have your word work folder at home, you're going to do this when we return to school at some point. So you'll go back to your personal spelling list. You'll write today's date next to the words that you spelled correctly in the master column. Leave the master column blank for the ones that you missed. There is no shame in missing some of these words. It just means that your brain needs extra time with it. It could also mean that when we were doing the word study process, you weren't really doing each step the way that the directions stated. So you might have been faking actually saying it out loud. Maybe you weren't writing it as you said it. Maybe you weren't making those words darker and saying them louder. It could be any of those things, but the point of this word study is to figure out what those things are. So maybe it's just that you needed extra time. Maybe it's that you need to do a better job of following the steps. But that's what we're about in 5th grade, is being problem solvers and being in control of our learning. And so this helps us to do that in the area of word study. Anyway, that was a lot of a long explanation for why we do word study the way we do. Hopefully you were able to take your partner test and you didn't have any trouble. When you're done, whether you took this in your word work folder or whether you used a random piece of paper, you're going to go back to the assignment tab in Google Classroom, and you're going to click Add or Create. You can create a slide. You can create a, drawing. I'm going to create a slide. And then you are going to delete any text boxes that are there. You're going to use the Insert menu, and you're going to say Image, and then you're going to say Camera. It's going to say Google Docs wants to use your camera. You're going to say Allow, and then on your camera screen, you're going to see yourself probably, but then you're going to hold up your completed spelling test, and then you're going to click the camera button. And then you're going to say Insert. And if you want, you can make it bigger so I don't have any trouble seeing your completed spelling test. Okay. One thing you might have to do is flip your image. Actually, you don't have to worry about that. You can see that it's backwards here. I'll be able to see what you've done regardless. So don't worry about flipping your image. That's something for a different day. It's probably too many steps for the virtual learning setting. So forget that I said that. Just get your picture in there, and then you're going to jump back to this assignment, and you can see that that slide that I created is there. And so then I'm going to just click Turn In. And I'm going to say, yes, I want to attach that. And so I turn that in, and I'm all done. So if you have any questions about how to go about taking that spelling partner test or how to attach or anything at all, please don't hesitate to either message me or email me, whatever works for you, whatever's convenient. Love you guys. Hope you're well.